At launch, Grand Theft Auto Online was one of my favorite multiplayer experiences of all time. Though underwhelming in content compared to today, I much prefer the more simple updates that Grand Theft Auto Online initially had, at least compared to these weird Tron-esque bikes and literal death rays the game has now. I haven't played Grand Theft Auto Online regularly for years, but every once in a while I'll log onto my account and look back on the days where me and my friend would grind for hours and hours on end, robbing gas stations just so we can afford a shitty $80,000 apartment. That's right, I said grind. Me being only 14 in 2013, the year Grand Theft Auto Online was launched, I had no means to afford any shark cards. For the uninformed, shark cards are just a fancier way of saying buying in-game currency. I earned everything I had in Grand Theft Auto Online. Maybe compared to other players, a souped-up Honda Civic isn't considered a luxury, but the sense of pride and accomplishment that came with it was priceless compared to outright paying real, actual, not fake money for a nicer apartment and a Lamborghini. The serious online crowd on Grand Theft Auto Online was dwindling by the time the Lowrider update released. I remember grinding so hard to make enough money to get my Voodoo upgraded to a custom version. I must have played for 3 days straight, only to grind hard enough to grind some more so I can pay for a fucking bobblehead. I wasn't having fun anymore, to say the least. I think most players would agree that around this point in time, Grand Theft Auto Online was splitting apart. Players like me who appreciated a realistic crime experience by grinding and refusing to pay real money were outspoken by players children who'd use mommy's debit card and buy millions of dollars worth of neon green crap. Rockstar simply followed where the money is, and I don't blame them. I understand their reasoning to side with the players who'd blindly give up their money compared to players who won't. So I tipped my hat and rode away, bidding adieu to Rockstar until they can capture my attention again. Oh yeah. Oh, that's what I like. I'll stick around a few more weeks, see where this goes. Fall 2016. Around the same time I was growing tired of Grand Theft Auto Online was when Rockstar decided to drop a bomb on me and announced that Red Dead Redemption 2 was coming out in a year. They knew exactly what they had to do to make this all better, and that's what they were aiming to do. There was no quantifying my excitement for Red Dead Redemption 2, since I've already exhausted all the entertainment value of Grand Theft Auto 5 single-player story. I was jonesing for Rockstar's next single-player experience. I mean, we can usually bank that Rockstar's story mode will be exceptional, but what about the online? Once a question of afterthought with Rockstar Games is now a headlining question. Since Grand Theft Auto Online was still making bank from babies, should we expect the same treatment with Red Dead Online? One can only assume that we'll be experiencing a similar treatment as shark cards for Red Dead Online, but that was beside me. I was only excited for Arthur's story, a story that took me about 3 months to finish. I won't be reviewing Red Dead Redemption 2's story today. I've already played it, and I don't review things I've already played or seen. Sorry. But after completing Red Dead Redemption 2, I felt pressure to jump into Red Dead Online. Now until this point in time, I avoided most news about the multiplayer, since it was on the bottom of my list of worries. So after doing a fair bit of research into it, I was disgusted, because not only did I learn that Red Dead Online has a shark card situation, but it was even worse than before. I won't get into the details of Red Dead Online's economy, but take a look at Mad Expert's Bandit's video on the subject, if you do desire a more thorough and cohesive report on the economy. The best way I can describe Red Dead's online economy is if I made you pay me to shit in your mouth, if that makes sense. To get to the point, I didn't want to play Red Dead Online if it was going to end up as soulless as Grand Theft Auto Online. But I've weaned myself off Rockstar Games for a long while now, and I feel like I'm ready to review Rockstar's Yeehaw multiplayer simulator. Today I'll be using my scam review process. If you don't know what scam stands for, check out my first iteration of it, and guys, I finally play Fallout 76. But for the unenlightened, I'll run through it one more time. S stands for sounds and visuals, C stands for character building, A for assaulting things using weapons and the things I'm assaulting, and M stands for how much fun I'm having. So no more coffee boiling, let's saddle up and play some Red Dead Online. Red Dead Online is an open-world multiplayer that acts as the online counterpart to Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Online's beta opened about a month after Red Dead Redemption 2 released, and garnered mixed results due to the state of one of its in-game currency, gold. Gold can be achieved through in-game activities, however, the amount you get is significantly lower than the cost of anything worth buying with said gold. So Rockstar offers the player the option to buy this gold with real money, which seems like the only way to obtain the items you actually want, which is dookie. Similarly to Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto Online, Red Dead Online is to be received as its own totally separate product. But where RDO shares that in common with Grand Theft Auto Online, I feel that Red Dead Online doesn't have the same entertainment value as Grand Theft Auto Online. I said online a lot in the last few seconds, and I'm sorry. I'll be trying my best to critique this game as its own separate entity, but it's pretty difficult since Red Dead Online and Red Dead Redemption 2 share the same game mechanics, same map, same shooting system, etc, etc. So I'll be trying my best not to compare this game to Red Dead Redemption 2. Likewise with Fallout 76, I still have no friends to play video games with. I mostly rode through Rockstar's Wild West alone, which means I had plenty of time to review the sounds and visuals. If I were to show my grandfather a side-by-side comparison of Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online, he'd probably say, "Jacob, it's obvious that Red Dead Online had to sacrifice some particle effects and do some lighting downgrades to make sure the game runs as smooth as possible, but overall, Red Dead Online looks quite similar to Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm kidding, my grandpa would never say that. He's dead. All jokes aside, Red Dead Online is one of the more graphically impressive multiplayer games I've played in my lifetime, but that's mostly due to the part that its base game is literally a wallpaper generator. One of the most beautiful games I've ever played. The forest, the desert, the rain, the snow, all done so masterfully. Number one on my list if we're discussing graphics. Sonically, Red Dead Online is a mirror copy of Red Dead Redemption 2 when it comes to the ambiances of bustling saloons or the serene forest. However, since your character is a mute, besides the whistling and sparse grunts you make, you really don't feel like a piece of that ambiance, more as a quiet observer of what is around you. I feel as you get a pass with the lack of voice in Grand Theft Auto Online since there isn't as much downtime as there is in Red Dead. I mean, in Grand Theft Auto, there's always a song on the radio or loud cars, some fucking asshole shooting at me, please stop. We start Red Dead Online in the same way as Grand Theft Auto Online, in prison. We don't exactly have as much freedom in Red Dead in face customization than Grand Theft Auto, with the whole choose your heritage thing, but it's so much easier to make the character you actually want to play as in this game. I want to make characters look like Oscar Isaac, and that's almost exactly what I got. Since there's no integral story in the online mode, honor doesn't affect the way people treat you. What it does impact is the free roam missions you can partake in and the price of the items that vendors offer. With the lower your honor, the more costly things become, and with the higher the honor, nothing happens. We also have a generic level up mode, where as you level up, items and weapons become available for you to buy. There's nothing too exciting there. Besides honor, there's only 4 other attributes you have to worry about in Red Dead. Stamina, health, your weight, and your Deadeye. I really admire the way that Rockstar handled Deadeye here. They could have just pulled a Fallout 76 and have Deadeye just be a real-time auto-aim. But instead, Rockstar opted to let the player choose a certain ability that would activate when the player enters Deadeye mode. You could regenerate health, have your team do a little more damage, or have enemies not have the ability to auto-aim you, just to name a few. Since we're already on the topic of the combat in this game, let's just jump ahead to... I can't say I totally agree with the whole auto-aimed assist default that Rockstar has on their online portion of their games, so I usually play on free aim servers. But even then, I still suck at shooting in these games. I usually like to play my shooting games on the PC, but I couldn't afford to buy Red Dead again, so I played it on the Xbox One. I just can't say I fully enjoyed Red Dead's shooting mechanics when ported over to online. Red Dead within itself is a slow burner, not really a run-in and gun-in type of game for me. I like to stay in cover and blind fire while sometimes coming out of cover for one good accurate shot. But since this is a Rockstar game, people would rather run into danger and shoot at you while you're trying to have a realistic firefight. Or at least while I'm trying to have a realistic firefight. It really throws me out of the immersion of the Wild West, you know? But that's really a variable that Rockstar can't do anything about. I guess that's why Rockstar added things to hunting online, so people like me who suck at shooting moving targets can feel like they accomplished something when they kill a deer just minding its own business. However, there isn't a lot of reason to hunt, since when you sell your carcasses you don't make a lot of money. And if you don't have money in Red Dead Online, you won't be having any fun. And the fun factor is where this game takes a turn for me. I know up until about now I kinda sped through the SEA portion of my scam review process, but that's really so I can have more time to talk about how unfun this game is. And before you chastise me in the comments, let me make my points and you can tell me exactly where you disagree. Or you can just wish horrible things upon my family in the comments. From the get-go, you have to wait almost 50 minutes before you're allowed to wander around in the free roam mode by yourself with no forced tutorial. Plus, the tutorial isn't fun. While in Grand Theft Auto Online we have Lamar, a very likable character taking our hand and showing us the ropes. In Red Dead Online we have Crips. He's there. Regarding the tutorial, you're kind of just riding your horse to a location, killing people there and riding to the next to deliver a product or another horse. I thought that after we were done with the tutorial, we'd be treated to some more engaging gameplay. But riding your horse, killing some people, and delivering products is literally the entire online experience. Of course, there's the death matches and the racing, but it's not fun. It's just not fun. Every command you give in Red Dead feels like there's a delay from you pressing the button and the action being performed. In the story mode, it was a mild annoyance, maybe, but when you're playing with other players, it becomes a real drag. Even though it is a multiplayer game, it is an open world game. I feel like even though it's online, an open world should be able to be played by your lonesome. As much as I didn't enjoy Fallout 76, I still found it bearable to be played by yourself, but with Red Dead Online, I loathed every time I had to ride across the map to my next mission, because it's so boring. The randomly generated events are few and far between, unlike in the base game, so for the most part you're gonna be riding in silence and occasionally passing another player who's doing the same exact thing. And that's the best case scenario. I can't tell you how many times I waved at another player and they shoot me and proceed to target me as long as I'm in the same vicinity as them. I'm no stranger to this as I play Grand Theft Auto Online and you go through the same exact thing, but in Grand Theft Auto Online you have more weaponry at your disposal. I've played this game for almost 15 hours and I'm barely able to afford a sawn-off shotgun, so it's not like I'm exactly able to defend myself against someone with a sniper rifle or anything better than what is disposed to you from the get-go. Maybe it's because I played Grand Theft Auto Online from the very start, but I feel like the only way I can succeed in Red Dead Online a year after joining is by shucking out my hard-earned money, so I can buy performance enhancers so I can make more fake money in a video game that already put me back $60. Like, a real $60. The thing about Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto Online was even though there was downtime between the real interesting stuff, I was still engaged. But when I played Red Dead Online, it's so very easy to want to be doing literally anything else besides playing Red Dead Online. In a last-ditch attempt to make myself enjoy the online, I pushed forward and tried to complete Red Dead Online story mode, but I just couldn't make myself care about any of the characters, and most of the time I'd play with a bunch of randos who die at the first sight of any conflict, so I gave up on that pretty quickly. I've tried mostly everything in Red Dead Online, and nothing I did made me feel like my time was well spent playing this game. I mean, besides the poker, of course. Red Dead Online is just okay. If I bought Red Dead Online for $60 and this was the quality I was given, I'd be absolutely livid. But when you take into account that I bought Red Dead Redemption 2 for Red Dead Redemption 2, we were pretty privileged to get a whole other online experience. The only thing I gained from the Red Dead Online experience is that it rekindled the flame of my infatuation with Red Dead Redemption 2's gameplay and story. And as we speak, I'm replaying the story right now, so I'll add a few crumbs on the score for that. I'm sorry, I'm usually not a whole cynic, I'm just expressing my opinions, and I'm willing to bet that there's a lot of you watching that disagree with me and think that Red Dead Online is one of the better online experiences to come out of 2018. To all of you, I just have to remind you that this is just the way my mind is wired, and I can't make myself like this game any more than I already do. So with that out of the way, I gotta say that Red Dead Online is about a 4.12 out of 10. Bye. I love you.